All right, so what is an algorithm? An algorithm describes the steps you have to perform to accomplish a specific task. Now, one common example that's often used when algorithms are being taught is the steps for making a cup of coffee. I'm a tea drinker, so I'm going to use tea instead. And so here's one algorithm for making tea. In step 1, we boil water. In step 2, we add a tea bag to a cup. In step 3, we pour the boiling water into the cup. In step 4, we remove the tea bag when the tea is ready, meaning it's steeped to the desired degree, either weak tea, strong tea, or tea in between. In step 5, we add the desired amount of milk to the cup. In step 6, we add the desired amount of sugar to the cup. And in step 7, we stir the contents of the cup with a spoon, and our tea is ready. Now you might be looking at this and thinking, wait a minute, that's not how I make tea. I don't put the tea bag in the cup, I put the tea bag into a teapot, and I boil the water and I pour that into the teapot, and then I add milk into the cup before I pour from the teapot into the cup, because that burns the milk. It gives the tea a little bit of a different taste. But you'll notice that I said here's one algorithm for making tea. I didn't say here's the algorithm for making tea. There can be more than one algorithm for accomplishing a task. And you'll see when we cover sort algorithms that there are many ways we can sort data. And so there are many sort algorithms. There isn't just one sort algorithm, and this is the one and only one way you can sort data. This algorithm that you're looking at, the making tea algorithm, makes some assumptions. It assumes that we're using a tea bag and that we're making the tea directly in the cup, as I said, rather than using a teapot. And it's not unusual for an algorithm to make assumptions. Some of the sort algorithms we'll cover make assumptions about the data they're sorting, and some don't. So there can be many algorithms that accomplish the same task. Now, there's one really important distinction that you have to understand. An algorithm is not an implementation. They're not the same thing. An algorithm describes the steps you have to perform, and implementation is the code you write to perform those steps if we're talking about programming. There can be many implementations of the same algorithm. For example, let's look at our making tea algorithm again. In step 1, we don't specify how to boil the water, we just say you've got to boil water. And so it doesn't matter if the water is boiled in a kettle or in a saucepan, or if somebody's boiling it in a pot over a campfire. As long as you boil water, you're performing step 1. So in the same way, when we implement an algorithm, it may be possible to implement a step in many different ways. And so in this course, I'm going to show you one implementation of each algorithm that we study. But there can be, and likely are, other implementations of the algorithm. So just to drill that home, there can be many algorithms that accomplish the same task. If you look at the sort algorithm section, you'll see that there's at least 8. There may be more. We cover the popular ones. And also, there can be many implementations of the same algorithm. So I'll show you one implementation, but you may see other implementations for the same algorithms. As long as the code you're writing is following the steps described by the algorithm, you have an implementation for the algorithm. Now, often the words algorithm and implementation are used interchangeably, even though they're different. I'll probably do the same thing occasionally. I may occasionally use algorithm when I should be using implementation. So just remember that an algorithm can have many implementations. And as I said, there can be many algorithms for accomplishing the same task. So that's algorithms, not terribly complicated. They just describe the steps you have to perform to accomplish a specific task. And so now that we've looked at what a data structure is, and we've looked at what an algorithm is, let's move on and start looking at our first data structure, the array. I'll see you there.